when we kind of step back, look at the big picture, right? We have Phil Weiser coming in likely as governor, because again, Republicans have not been competitive in a number of years in a race for governor. Colorado has elected one Republican governor in 55 years. Folks can keep emailing me upset about that. It doesn't change that fact, right? But the fact is that Phil Weiser is on track to be Colorado's governor with a 10-point win over Michael Bennet tonight. He has signaled that he will be more friendly to progressive legislation than his predecessor, Governor Jared Polis. And you will have potentially more progressives in the state legislature as well. So there's no way to describe this other than a step to the left in Colorado tonight.
Yeah.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. And these Shields boys.
Hey there, everybody. Good morning to you. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Shadey. You are in the zone, and we are coming to you from the beautiful Rocky Mountain region right here in the Centennial State of Colorado. It is Wednesday morning after the Colorado State Primary, and I am sure that there are a lot of you out there right now that have primary hangover. There's a lot of you out there that are disappointed. Well, this is not the time to be disappointed, everybody. So at the beginning of the video, you guys saw the awesome Kyle Clark of Denver 9 News, who is nothing more than a mouthpiece for the socialist liberals, for the communists running this state. And you can tell, you can tell by the look in his eyes, by the way he carries himself, by the things he is saying. He is gleeful over this. So much for, fair and balanced, right, Kyle? Kyle Clark is a piece of garbage. I'll tell y'all something right now. I went on X, Twitter. I called him out on some of the lies, the straight up lies he was talking about the Tina Peters case. Dude blocked me. Dude blocked me on X because I called him out and peeled back his lies on X over Tina Peters. The guy's a wimp. But you can tell in the video he is just as happy as a pig in mud, because as he was saying, let me see if I can get this, as he was saying, this guy, Phil Weiser, the Colorado Attorney General, won the Democratic nomination for the governorship of Colorado. This guy, does that look like a leader to y'all? I mean, seriously, this guy's claim to fame, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because the count keeps going up. This guy's claim to fame is that he has filed 66 lawsuits against the Trump administration. Wow, way to lead. That is all he's got going for him. Now, out of those 66 lawsuits, old Phil here claims that he's won 34 of them. If you do a little digging, do a little research, you will find out that he has indeed not won 34 of those lawsuits. There are a slew of those lawsuits that are still either held up in court or whatever, waiting for a judge's ruling on them. And according to the research that I've done, these lawsuits that he's filed are might wins. But yeah, this guy is, the Democrats have nominated this guy for the governor of Colorado. Take a good look at this guy. Does this not look like the guy who would be driving the white van with free Wi-Fi painted across the side of it in spray paint, talking to all the little kids in the neighborhood looking for his lost puppy? This guy is a joke. He's a borderline, he's a socialist if he's not a borderline communist, whatever. The dude is worthless. He believes that filing lawsuits is a way to fight back against anything. And that's all these Democrats have had to run on, is just, I fought Trump. I'm fighting Trump. Blah, blah, blah. Every single one of them. This dude is worthless. And yet the Democrats nominated him for governor. Now, come here, y'all. Listen. There were a lot of people on social media last night and this morning that are saying that it's over, that we've lost, yada, yada. And you heard Kyle Clark in the intro. Kyle saying, it's been 55 years since there's been any kind of Republican leadership in this state, or a Republican governor, blah, 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 blah. So people are just giving up. I saw it last night on social media to the point where it nauseated me. Because, hey, you know what? It is disappointing to see Weiser get nominated. I mean, at least with Bennett, we knew what to expect. We knew what kind of guy he is. We knew that. Now along comes Weiser. He's a whole different breed of animal. He's a slimy little lawyer. The same thing can be said for Hickenlooper, who was running against Julie Gonzalez for Congress, for the federal Congress. Gonzalez is a straight up socialist, communist, DSA candidate. All right. At least with Hickenlooper, we know what to expect. We're used to seeing him. We know what he does. And he's just like all the other ones. All he does is say, fight Trump, fight Trump. That's his only platform. His only policy is fight Trump, gotta fight Trump, orange man bat. Well, Hickenlooper won. Ms. Gonzalez can go back to her state Congress position. She can ban more guns. She can raise our taxes more, and all that good communist stuff that she loves to do. I mean, if you've ever seen this woman, she gets up in front of Congress and she kind of does this little dance, and she babbles incoherently for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then she walks off. I swear to God, the woman is stoned half the time that she's standing there speaking. But hey, that's the way the progressives are these days. They don't care. So getting back to everything that I saw on social media last night, everybody's just saying like, okay, we're done. Griswold's going to get attorney general. Weiser's going to get governor, and we're done. That's it. It's been 55 years. We're done. Y'all, this ain't over. This just got started. You see, now we know who we're up against. Now we know who the enemy is. Now we can act accordingly. And listen, there were a lot of people out there on the GOP side, and I can just go ahead and say this because I'm unaffiliated. There were a lot of people out there on the GOP side that it was either Marks or Bottoms. Okay? They're fighting back and forth between Marks and Bottoms. On and on and on. People saying, well, if Marks wins this, I'm not going to vote. People saying, well, Bottoms wins this, I'm going to vote Democratic. Well, in the meantime, Barb Kirkmeyer, who's been in politics forever in this state, kind of slid right by and won the nomination. So now we're looking at Kirkmeyer versus Weiser. Okay? This isn't over. The lines have just been drawn. And as it says in my intro, this is where we hold them. This is where we fight. And there's people out there saying, like a good old Kyle there, you know, it's been 55 years. You know, the progressives and the Democrats outweigh the GOP in this state. They outnumber them. Well, guess what? The Persians outnumbered the Spartans. The Mexican army outnumbered Davy Crockett and Sam Houston and all those folks at the Alamo. Folks, this is our Alamo. This is our Spartan moment, to coin a phrase from some retarded congressman that I'll not speak of right now. But this is the time. The battle lines have been drawn. That's all this means. The fight is not over. Stop giving up. And if you're out there and you're one of those people who was saying, well, Marx wins this, I'm not going to vote. Well, Bottoms wins this, I'm going to vote Democratic. Well, this happens, I'm just... If you do that, we will lose this state. Because I'm telling y'all right now, if Weiser and Griswold get in as Attorney General and Governor of this state, the state of Colorado is done. We cannot endure another 8 years of the past 8 years of what we've been going through. You have to look at this the way corporations have been looking at it. All right, there are corporations, there are businesses that are leaving the state of Colorado in droves. There are people, there are citizens that are fed up with this stuff and leaving the state of Colorado in droves. And I'll be totally honest with y'all, if it was just me, I would probably move to Texas or Oklahoma or Wyoming or someplace like that. I probably would. But I have lived in this state since 1993. If I'm not a native, y'all need to at least adopt me, because my roots are here, my family is here, and I can't go anywhere. So I am stuck here having to fight this. We're going to lose in November, y'all, if you don't drop your petty little emotional rants that you're going on, for lack of better words. If you continue with this selfish approach to politics in this state, and if your guy didn't win, then you're just going to take your toys and go home. You keep that up, and we will lose this state, and there is no coming back after this. You got to get up. You got to dust yourself off. You got to 100% get behind Kirkmeyer. Get behind the person running against Griswold for Attorney General. And you have to get out. You have to politic for these people. And you have to vote. And I know there's a lot of you that are disappointed right now. A lot of people that were counting on Victor Marx. They were counting on Scott Bottoms, to one of those two people, to take this and go all the way. No, y'all. You got to get over that. You got to get through it. Let me tell you something. I had looked hard at Victor Marx. I had supported Victor Marx all the way up until the debate. When Victor Marx got on stage with Kirkmeyer and with Bottoms, he did not impress anyone. He didn't answer questions. He avoided questions, the whole 9 yards. Of course, he had our favorite boy, Kyle Clark, was one of the moderators in the debate. So there's some of the things that he was getting asked that I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything either. But I think Marx was trying to beat Trump. Marx was already an outsider. Trump didn't participate in the primary debates. So Victor decided he wasn't going to participate in the primary debates. And then the one time that he does, he bombs. He completely bombed. You have to admit that if you watch the debate. All right, we need somebody strong. We need somebody that's going to speak up. Scott Bottoms, love the guy. Think he's an all right guy up until he said something. Well, up until I found out that there was a big hoo-ha about not letting unaffiliated voters vote in the primary, and Bottoms was all for that. Scott, I'm an unaffiliated. I was actually looking at voting for you. And yet you want to shun me? Now that turned me off the bottoms right there. So here we are. Barb Kirkmeyer is running against Phil Weiser for governor. We need to drop all these little petty, childish reasons and excuses, or whatever you want to call them. We need to all come together. It's the only way we're going to do this, y'all, is if we come together and we fight, we get out and we vote, we make our voices heard. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are saying that, oh, this is Colorado, they don't listen to conservatives, they don't listen to Republicans anyway. There's a lot of you folks out there that, like me, are independent, we're unaffiliated, we lean to the right, we lean conservative. If we don't get out there and we don't vote, it's done, it's over. But it's not done now. This is not the time to be laying there wallowing in your pity, moaning and crying and complaining because your guy didn't get there. All right? This has nothing to do with that. You need to drop it. Because if you don't, like I said, Weiser, Griswold, they will win. And once they do, your taxes will go up more. Your firearms will be further banned. There will be all sorts of things that will happen in this state if these two get to office. We have to stop them. This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. You need to get that spirit. You need to get it inside of you. You need to get it in there now, because we're not just fighting for ourselves, y'all. I've got children. I've got grandchildren living in this state, and that's who I'm going to fight for. Sorry I didn't get to do it live this week, y'all, with the primary last night and all that going on, plus the 4th, our 250th birthday. Colorado's 150th birthday is coming up Saturday. So I've got things that I need to be doing. I need to be doing things right now. But here I am, because I wanted to pass this on to y'all. I didn't get to do the live. I did try to get this out as soon as I could. So, you know, the thing about it is, and I know there are a lot of you out there that don't live in Colorado, but y'all need to realize something right now. We are in a battle in this state, and it's coming down. It's coming down to the nitty gritty. It's getting down to either you poop or get off the pot. You either fish or cut bait. All those cliches. Right now is the time we need to join together. We need to shake this off, and we need to charge ahead. I'm not talking about moving forward. I'm talking about we need to charge ahead. So get together. Drop all of your crap. Get rid of all these little petty differences that you have. All this disappointment that your guy didn't win. I'm so sorry. I am very, very sorry that your guy didn't win. But if you want this state to have any kind of hope for any kind of possible future, you need to drop all that. You need to band together. You need to unify, and you need to get the right person into the governorship of this state, into the attorney general of this state. If you don't, if you let this go the way it usually does, with the GOP in this state eating itself alive, backstabbing and turning on each other, if you continue that process with this one, we're done. So get up off your couch, get your thumbs off your phone, get your fingers off your keyboard, and do something. Vote. Support Kirkmeyer. It's the only way we're going to win this, y'all. If they split us like they've always split us, if the Democrats split the GOP the way they always have, the way they did when Polis was elected originally, if they do that, we're not going to win. And if we don't win this one, we're looking at another 4 to 8 years of worse than what we've had with Polis. And that's all I got to say. I mean, make me proud of you. Don't make me ashamed of you, because I'm telling you one thing right now. I didn't vote for Kirk Meyer, but I am now. I didn't support Kirk Meyer, but I do now. I'll put her on, I'll interview her here on the channel if I can. But I'm going to throw every bit of my support behind everything on that ticket that says conservative right now. And you need to too. Get over yourselves. It's the only way we're going to win this. It's the only way we have a chance to win this. Get over yourselves. Get up and do something besides being keyboard warriors, besides throwing crap on political candidates just because you don't like them, just because you have some kind of personal little difference with them. All right? There's some things about Kirk Meyer that I don't like. But you know what? There's a lot of things about Trump I don't like. I just see that being the best way for the state to go right now, and it is our only hope. So if you want your grandkids, if you want your kids to grow up in a semi-free state, drop it, get up, do something. Y'all take care of yourselves and each other. God bless every one of you, and God help the state of Colorado right now. Till next time, y'all stay shady.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight! And these shields, boys!